Hi, everyone. My name is Maggie Cahill.
And I'm Father Joe Carey, and we want to welcome you to
The
Cup of Joe. Well, Maggie,
Well, FJ.
what's new in your life these days?
Oh,
You've been around a while.
I've been around a while. You mean just in this job or?
Yeah, well, and at Notre Dame and everything.
Yes, my second year.
So, I was thinking about the fact that, in our lives, there's a lot that goes on from the day we're born into the day we die.
There certainly is. That's an
And
understatement.
it's some people would call it the hyphen. What happens in the hyphen?
Oh, wow.
And I think that a lot of it is fundamentally to bring it down to sharing God's love.
Mm-hmm.
And then how would you say you as a teacher, and you could turn it to me, and you as a priest, how do you share God's love?
Well, that's a big question. And I
Yeah.
would say probably the most important question of our hyphen, if you will. I think there's a lot of ways to do it. Some are big and some are small. And I think it's easy to get caught up in the big ways of, how am I doing all of these great works and good deeds for other people? But I think a lot of the most meaningful good deeds are just the small little things that you do for people.
What would be some?
So I think if we're thinking along the lines of teaching in particular, I think something very simple is knowing your students by name and calling them by name in the same way that God calls us each by name. I think it really makes them feel known by you, and it helps to build a sense of trust. Like even that's something that I really was trying to be intentional about with my Moreau students this year. That's a new thing that I've been taking on this year, is teaching some of the undergrads here at Notre Dame. And something that I took away from being an ACE teacher was the importance of knowing people's names. And so at the beginning, I really tried to be intentional about learning each of their names and meeting with each of them one-on-one and learning something about them so that I could bring that up when I saw them, and so that they knew that I cared about them as a person, not just as a student. So I think that is important now. It was important with my 7th graders and learning about their baseball games and their plays and their dance recitals and just knowing little things about them so that when I called them by name, they knew that I really actually knew who they were. So I think that's one just kind of little way that I really felt like I was able to share God's love with my students. What about you?
Well, I agree with knowing the names of people and their stories. And everyone has a story to tell about their life. And we only get a little bit of every person's story. And so getting to know them, what they aspire to do in life. I love to know why people came to Notre Dame. That's my constant question, preceded by the question of where were you when you received the notice that you were accepted, and who were you with, and how did you react? They're great stories, and their personalities come out, and I ask that all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't like to ask a senior, what are you going to do next?
Yeah.
But I like to ask them, what are you passionate about? And how have you grown at Notre Dame?
Yeah.
So getting people to just kind of reflect on their lives and be open about listening and affirming them.
You're really good at that. And
Well, I try to be.
A lot of our viewers who know you know that you're really good at that. And
Well,
you
thanks.
Make people feel very loved.
Yeah, well, that's what I try to do. So, but I I think it's important that we spread God's love,
Mhm.
and we do it by telling everyone,
And
we
we
love
love
you.
you.